Well, hello there. I'm Tommy, and this is a little fishing adventure that took place back in October of 2008. Actually, October 17th, to be exact. My dad and a friend of ours, Jeff, is actually a work colleague of mine. We were selling used cars together back then. Don't hold that against me. Anyway, we love fishing, and we decided to head out to Ponce Inlet in New Smyrna Beach. My friend had bought a new flats boat. He let us use it. Pretty nice. A Polar, the 90 horse Yamaha four stroke. It was just a really nice heavy boat, and it worked really well for the jetties there. We got an early start. We always got an early start before the sun came up, usually. We stopped and cast netted some bait. We got some finger mullet. We had bought some live shrimp and headed to the jetty. So we got out to the end there where it opens up into the Atlantic, and we fished, and we actually did pretty good. We caught some nice snook. We caught some mangrove snapper, uh, black drum, red drum, flounder. I mean, there's just no end to what you can catch out there. But my dad, he's always doing something crazy when it comes to fishing, and that's the good thing. He decided to. We were just catching little fish, like the mangrove snapper were probably 10, 12 inches at the most. No, none of these 5 or 6 pounders like you get offshore. So he ended up throwing out a live finger mullet on a small number 2 kale hook, dropped it down to the bottom, and he hooked a fish. Well, we didn't know what it was. This thing was big. I mean, really big. It took off running. It ran, man, it must have run out 200 yards of line, ran right toward the beach. I swore it was going to come up onto the beach. But eventually, right when I was thinking we were going to have to pull the anchor and take off and go after it, it it turned around and then headed back out to open water. So we were trying to stay up with it. My dad was. And you'll see it in the video. A boat came and threw its anchor. Yeah, Dad's been fighting this fish for 15 minutes, man. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't know if he's ever going to get it in. No, the tide shifted. He got it off of the chain and let it go, and it sounded like a 22 rifle going off. I just figured that the line had snapped, but they swore, no, the line is still on there. The fish is still on there. And sure enough, man, in a couple of seconds, it tightened up again and took off and ran out all the way down to the backing on this reel. But you got to you got to remember, this reel is a bass fishing rod and reel, spinning reel. 20-pound super braid and 20-pound mono leader. Anyway, it took him a half an hour to get this fish up to the boat. Finally got the trace mono that I had on the end of the super braid. Finally got that on the reel, and the thing came up, and I thought it was a big shark. And if anybody knows anything about this kind of fish, it looks like a shark in the water. So he pulled it up again, and then we realized what it was, and oh man, it was crazy. We were scrambling to see how we were going to get this big cobia in the boat. All we had was a landing net, just a regular landing net, and the only thing that would fit in the landing net was the head of this fish. So I got the head of the fish in the landing net, and if anybody knows anything, well, if you know anything about cobia, they don't like to be touched, they don't like to be gaffed, they don't like to be messed with. And that thing went crazy. He was doing a death roll like an alligator, and he got all tangled up in the net, which is good. His head did, and his pectoral fins, which were about 10 inches long, I think. I can't remember exactly how long they were, but you can see them in the picture. Uh, and my friend Jeff grabbed the tail and we pulled that thing over the side of the boat.
Well, this is about a half hour of work. And that is what you get, baby.
Good going, Jeff Hyder.
Jeff helped. Jeff helped. He held on to Dad so he didn't get pulled out of the boat. Oh my goodness.
He's recording, I understand.
That is incredible. On that little bass rod.
What were you using?
Mullet,
Mullet?
right on the bottom.
And we all just sat there. My dad and I were shaking. We had the big fish shakes. And we could not believe it. A couple other boats were around. They were asking us what it was because they saw it in the, as we pulled it over, but they couldn't. It was so big that nobody could figure out what it was. But man, that was a once in a lifetime fish. That thing weighed about 50 pounds. It was 51 inches long and about 30 inches around, the girth of it. You can see from the pictures, my dad's pretty fit at this point. He's pretty strong and he had a hard time picking that thing up. So you can see the tail is still on the ground, I think, in the picture. And I'm 6'2", or at least I was at that time. I might have shrunk a little bit with age. And I'm holding that thing right against my body when I'm holding those pectoral fins. So you can see how big that thing was. But what an amazing story. I mean, that was a once in a lifetime fish. To catch a fish that big on a bass spinning rod, to go through all the stuff that we went through with the boat's anchor and trying to get it around the other boats that were out there fishing. Amazing. So anyway, that's the story. Hope you enjoyed it. And the pictures, we got a little bit of video. Nowadays we'd have the whole fight on film, but back in that time it was you picked and had to pick and choose. Didn't have a lot of storage space on those little SD cards and the little Canon digital camera I was using back then. So just a little side note, you can see from the picture here, the fish wouldn't fit into our it was a big cooler. It was actually a seat and a cooler built into the boat, so we had to go home. We were disappointed because the fish were really hitting that day, but we were also very happy. So anyway, there's a little side note there. Anyway, that's our story, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, like and subscribe because I'm going to put up a lot more. Have a great day. And get out there and go fishing. Take your kids, get them off the iPad.